Guys, be focused. Okay.
This is John Peacock, Matthew's academic advisor.
Well, the news reports started trickling out on Thursday, but no names were mentioned. The brutality of the crime was not mentioned. All that was mentioned was that there was a man, a Laramie man, found beaten out on the prairie, basically. Later on in the evening, they mentioned his name. It was like, they can't. That's not Matthew Shepard, I know. That's not my student. That's not this person I've been meeting with.
I was in the coffee shop.
Romaine Patterson.
And someone pulled me aside and said, I don't know much, but they say that there's been a young man who's been beaten in Laramie. And they say that his name is Matthew Shepard. And he said, do you think this could be our Matthew? And I said, well, yeah, it sounds like it could be our Matthew. So I called up my sister Trish and I said, tell me what you know. I'm just like, I need to know everything you know because I don't know anything.
So I was talking to my sister on the phone. And
Can't hear you.
So I was talking to my sister on the phone, and that's when the whole story came up on Channel 5's news, and it was just like, boom.
And the news reports kept rolling in. Young University of Wyoming student. His age, his description. It's like, oh my God.
And I felt sick to my stomach.
Sarah, we cannot hear you.
It's just instantly sick to my stomach. And I had to tell Romaine, yes, it was Matthew. It was your friend.
Well, I'll tell you. It's overwhelming.
Matt Galloway.
Friday morning I first found out about it. I go to class, walk out, and boom, there it is, in the branding iron. So immediately I drive to the nearest news station, buy a Laramie boomerang, because I want more details. Buy that.
I'm losing some of your dialogue. Make sure that we all know that even if you're looking out, project to the whole audience.
I drive to the nearest newsstand, buy a Laramie boomerang because I want more details. Buy that, go home. Before I can even open the paper, my boss calls me. He says,
Did you hear about what happened?
and I'm like, yeah.
Was he in the bar Tuesday night?
And I go, yes, he was.
You've got to get down to the bar right now. You've got to talk about this. You've got to discuss the phone number.
By this time, I was starting to get upset. But still, the severity wasn't over yet.
It was Thursday afternoon.
Roll on Stacy at Padre Valley Hospital.
I got a call. We just got a kid in from Wyoming, and it looks like he may be a victim of a hate crime. We have a couple of newspaper reporters here asking questions. And so, we agreed that we needed one spokesperson. As CEO, I'll do that, and we'll try to gather all the information that we can.
And then I watched the 10 o'clock news that night where they started speaking about the nature and the seriousness of it.
So I'm on the phone with Mickelson, and he's like,
We need to go down to the arraignment room so we can identify those guys and make sure these guys are in the law.
Louder, maybe.
so we go to the arraignment.
Our focus today turns to Laramie, Wyoming, and the Albany County Courthouse, where Aaron James McKinney and Russell Arthur Henderson are being charged with the brutal beating of Matthew Shepard, a gay University of Wyoming student.
The arraignment was on Friday, right around lunchtime, and I said, I'm just going. I just took off. It's just down the street. So I walked a few blocks and I went. Has anybody told you about the arraignment? There were probably about 100 people from town and probably as many news media by that point. A lot more of the details have come out. The fact that the perpetrators were kids themselves, local kids that everyone who's from around here has some relationship to. And what everyone was really, I think, waiting on pins and needles for what would happen when the perpetrators walked in. And what happened, there's 200 people in the room at this point. They walked in their complete orange jumpsuits and their shackles, and you could have heard a pin drop. It was incredibly solemn. I mean, lots of people were teary at that point. Then the judge came in and did a reading. There was a reading of the evidence that the prosecution had, and it's just a statement of facts. And the reading of the facts was,
The essential facts are that the defendants, Aaron James and McKinney and Russell Arthur Henderson, met Matthew Shepard at the Fireside Bar, and after Mr. Shepard confided that he was gay, the subjects deceived Mr. Shepard into leaving with them in their vehicle to a remote area. Upon arrival at said area, both subjects beat him. Both subjects tied their victim to a buck fence, robbed him, tortured him, and beat him. Both defendants were later contacted by officers of the Laramie Police Department, who observed inside the cab of their pickup a credit card and a pair of black patent leather shoes belonging to the victim, Matthew Shepard. The subjects took the victim's credit card, wallet containing $20 in cash,
wasn't crying at the
other
end of it.
items, and obtained the
I mean, it
victim's
lasted
address in order to
5
later
minutes.
burglarize his home.
But it kept getting more and more horrific, ending with,
Said defendants left the victim begging for his life.
Sergeant Hayden.
How could this happen? I think a lot of people just don't understand. And even I don't really understand how someone can do something like that. We have one of the most vocal populations of gay people in the state, and it's pretty much live and let live.
Laramie resident Jeffrey Lockwood.
My secret hope was that they were from somewhere else, but of course they didn't create that distance.
I'm losing you, Gustavo.
We don't grow children like that here. Well, it's pretty clear that we don't grow children like that here.
so that was the arraignment, and my response was pretty catatonic. Not sleeping, not eating. Don't leave me alone right now.
More and more details came in about the sheer brutality, motivations, how this happened. And then, quite frankly, the media descended and there was no time to reflect on it anymore.
Laramie, Wyoming, often called the gem city of the plains, is now the eye of the storm.
Aaron
The
McKinney
cowboy
and
state
his
has
friend Russell
rednecks and
Henderson
young, that's for
came
sure,
from Forsyth.
but there are no more bigots per capita in Wyoming than there are in New York, Florida, or California.
They lived in
Even
trailers
in
in
that,
cities
Wyoming,
wrapped
there are
out
fewer
of
places to blend in if you're anything other than a Sherry
Version
Scout.
of what happens in the schools on a daily basis.
It's a tough business, as Matthew Shepard knew, and as his friends all knew, to be gay in cowboy country.
It was huge. Yeah. It was herds and we're talking hundreds of reporters, which makes a huge dent in this town's population. There's reporters everywhere. News trucks that were on campus, everywhere in town. And we're not used to that type of attention to begin with. We're not used to that type of exposure.
Tiffany Edwards, local reporter.
These people are predators. Like, this one journalist actually caught one of the judges in the bathroom at the urinal. I was like asking him questions. And the judge was like, "Excuse me, can I please have some privacy?" And the journalist was like offended that he asked for privacy. I mean, this is not how journalism started. Like, Gutenberg Press, you know?
Tell you what, when hard copy came and taped me, I taped them at the exact same time. I have every word I ever said on tape, so if they ever do anything funny, they better watch their fucking ass.
Wyoming Governor Jim Geringer, a first-time Republican up for re-election.
I am outraged and sickened by the heinous crimes committed on Matthew Shepard. I extend my most heartfelt sympathies to the family.
Governor, you haven't pushed hate crime legislation in the past.
I would like to urge the people of Wyoming against overreacting in a way that gives one group special rights over the others. We will wait and see if the vicious beating and torture of Matthew Shepard was motivated by hate.
You got the beginning of the news story where they have the graphics in the background, and they've got murder in Wyoming. And Wyoming's dripping red like it's got blood on it or something. And it's like, what is this? This sensationalism. And we're here going, wait a minute. We had the guys in jail in less than a day. I think that's pretty damn good.
I checked the week for this.
Oh yeah, I didn't have anything written down, and I
Oh,
narrated
okay.
for that, so I think I just was
Okay, yeah. Well, you're Tiffany Edwards again.
Right, so I think I leave and then come back.
Are you just in a different chair, or no?
Do you stay there?
No, I just have to.
Yeah, okay, so
okay, gotcha. And for us to be more or less maligned,
Eileen and Gil and Gil.
that we're not a good community, and we are the majority of people here are good people.
We get bad apples once in a while, and I think that the gay community took this as an advantage. Said this is a good time for us to exploit this.
Bill McKinney, father of one of the accused.
Had this been a heterosexual, these two boys decided to take out Rob, this never would have made the national news. Now my son is guilty before he's even had a trial.
Look, I do think that the media actually made some people accountable because they made people think. Because people were sitting in their homes, like, watching TV and listening to CNN and watching Dan Rather and going, Jesus Christ, well, that's not how it is here. Well, how is it here?
Matthew Shepard, medical update at 3 p.m. Saturday, October 10th.
By this point, I looked out there, and where there had been 2 or 3 reporters, it must have been 10 or 15 photographers, another 20 or 30 reporters, and 10 video cameras. The parents had just arrived. I had barely introduced myself to them. I looked out there and thought, my gosh, what am I going to do? Matthew Shepard was admitted in critical condition approximately 9:15 p.m., October 7th. When he arrived, he was unresponsive and breathing support was being provided. Matthew's major injuries upon arrival consisted of hypothermia and a fracture from behind his head to just in front of the right ear. This has caused bleeding in the brain as well as pressure in the brain. There were also several lacerations on his head, face, and neck. Matthew's temperature has fluctuated over the last 24 hours, ranging from 98 to 20 to 106 degrees. We have had difficulty controlling Matthew's temperature. Matthew's parents arrived at 7 p.m. October 9th and are now at his bedside. The following is a statement from them. First of all, we want to thank the American public for their kind thoughts about Matthew and their fond wishes for his speedy recovery. We appreciate your prayers and goodwill, and we know that they are something Matthew would appreciate too. We also have a special request for the members of the media. Matthew is in very much need of his family at this time, and we ask that you respect our privacy as well as Matthew's, so we can concentrate all of our efforts, thoughts, and love on our son. Thank you very much.
Both Aaron McKinney and Russell Henderson, that was good. Is that word? Pled not guilty to charges. Their girlfriends Chastity Paisley and Kristen Price also pled not guilty after being charged as accessories after the fact. On our next trip, we spoke with the chief investigating officer of the case, Detective Rob Debris in the Albany Country Sheriff's Department.
I guess the thing that bothered me the most was when I went down to Poudre Valley where Matthew was, and the thing that bothered me the most is seeing him, touching him. As a homicide detective, you look at bodies. The poor boy is sitting here, fighting all his life, trying to make it. I wanted it so by the book, you know?
I kept seeing that picture in my head when I found him,
Aaron Kreikos.
and it's not pleasant whatsoever. I don't want it to be there. I want to, like, get it out. That's the biggest part for me, is seeing that picture in my head. And it's kind of unbelievable to me, you know, that I happen to be the person who found him. Because the big question with me, with my religion, is why did God want me to find him?
I know how to take care of myself, and I was irrationally terrified.
Catherine Connolly.
So what that means is not letting my 12-year-old son walk the streets, seeing a truck do a U-turn and thinking it's coming after me, having to stop because I'm shaking so bad. And in fact, the pickup truck did not come after me, but my reaction was to have my heart in my mouth.
Ultimately, no matter how you dice it, I did have an opportunity.
Matt Galloway.
If I had amazing hindsight of 2020 to have stopped what occurred, and I keep thinking I should have noticed. These guys shouldn't have been talking to this guy. I should not have my head down when I was washing dishes for those 20 seconds. Things I could have done. What the hell was I thinking?
So you do a lot of study. You spend hours and hours and hours. You study and study and study, talking to the officers, making sure they understand, talking to your witnesses again, and then always coming back to... I get this flash of seeing Matthew. I wanted it so tight that there was no way that they were going to get out of this.
One of the things that happened when I got to the fence,
Lisa?
Reggie Flutie.
it was such an overwhelming amount of blood, and we tried to wear protective gloves, but we had a really cheap sheriff at the time, and he got us shit gloves, you know? You put them on, and they kept breaking. So finally, you just ran out of gloves, you know? So you figure, well, you know, don't hesitate, you know? That's what your mind tells you all the time. Don't hesitate until you just keep moving and try to help Matthew find everyone. And, you know, that's what you do, you know?
The thing I wasn't telling you before is that Reggie's my daughter.
Marge Murray.
And when she first told me she wanted to be a police officer, well, I thought there was not a better choice for her. She could handle whatever came her way.
Probably a day and a half later, the hospital called me and told me Matthew had HIV. The doctor said, you've been exposed, and you had a bad exposure. Because you see, I've been building a lean-to for my llamas, and my hands had a bunch of open cuts on them. So I was kind of screwed. You know, and you think, oh shoot, you know?
Would you like to talk about reasons?
So I said to the doctor, okay, what do I do? And they said, get up here. So I got up there and we started the ATC drugs immediately.
Now they told me that that's a medication that if it's administered 36 hours after you've been exposed, it can maybe stop you getting the disease.
That is a mean, nasty medicine. Mean. I've lost 10 pounds and a lot of my hair.
And quite frankly, I wanted to lash out at someone. Not at Matthew, please understand that. Not one of us was mad at Matthew, but we maybe wanted to squeeze McKinney's head off. And I think about Henderson, and you know, two absolutely human beings cause so much grief for so many people. It has been terrible for my whole family, but mostly for her and her kids.
I think I brought home to my girls what their mom does for a living.
Well, Reggie, you know what we're going to tell you now.
And my parents told me, you know, they both did the same damn thing.
You're quitting this damn job.
And it's just a parent thing, you know? And they're terribly proud of you because you do a good job, whether it's handling a drunk or handling a case like this. But you're, you know, they don't want you getting hurt.
Like I said, there's a right way, there's a wrong way, and then there's a righteous way.
So finally I said, oh, for God's sakes, lighten up, Francis.
You're so stubborn.
They say I'm stubborn, and I don't believe them. But I just think, you know, okay, I've heard your opinion, and now here's mine. I'm 39 years old, you know? What are they gonna do? Spank me?
Reggie, don't give me any ideas.
It looked pretty funny, you know? What can they say?
I just hope she doesn't go before me. I just couldn't.
University of Wyoming President Philip Dubois.
Well, this is a young person. Read my statement on the Denver Post story.
I understand.
Well, this is a young person who read my statement on the Denver Post story and sent me an email to me directly. He said,
You and the straight people of Laramie and Wyoming are guilty of the beating of Matthew Shepard, just as the Germans who look the other way are guilty of the deaths of the Jews, the gypsies, and the homosexuals. You have taught your straight children to hate their gay and lesbian brothers and sisters. Unless and until you acknowledge that Matt Shepard's beating is not just some random occurrence, not just the work of a couple of random crazies, you have Matthew's blood on your hands.
and, well, I just can't begin to tell you what it does to you. And it's like, you can't possibly know what I'm thinking, and you can't possibly know what this has done to me and my family and my community.
That first week alone, vigils for Matthew Shepard were held in Laramie, Denver, Fort Collins, and Colorado Springs. Soon after, in Detroit, Chicago, San Francisco, Washington, D.C., Atlanta, Nashville, Minneapolis, and Portland, Maine, among others. In Los Angeles, 5,000 people gathered, and in New York City, a political rally ended in civil disobedience and hundreds of arrests. And the Poudre Valley Hospital website received close to 1 million visitors from across the country and around the world, all expressing hope for Matthew's recovery.
Matthew Shepard medical update at 9 a.m. Sunday, October 11th.
As of 9 a.m. today, Matthew Shepard remains in critical condition. The family continues to emphasize that the media respect their privacy. The family also wants to thank the American public for their kind thoughts and concern for Matthew.
There are certain things in the church.
Jedediah Schultz.
And the Reverend will tell you flat out he doesn't agree with homosexuality. I don't know. I think right now I'm going through some changes. I'm still learning about myself, and, you know, I don't feel like I know enough about certain things to make a decision that says homosexuality is right. When you've been raised your whole life, that's wrong, and right now I wouldn't say that I agree with it. Yeah, that I agree with it. Maybe that's just because I couldn't do it. Speaking in religious terms, I don't think that's how God intended it to happen. But I don't hate homosexuals.